All right, so after like literally 2 weeks of having these wheels and tires for sale, I started off at $1,000. I lowered it to 600. I'm like, man, if I can get 500 bucks for them, should be all right. Well, I got somebody coming right now. I just lowered it to 400 bucks firm. I did that like literally 10 minutes ago, and I got a guy who's like, I can be there in half an hour. So that's the kind of business I like. That's the kind of business I like, when people know what they want. They've got the money in hand and they're ready right then and there. That's usually how I do it too. I usually don't hit people up unless I have like a legitimate question, or I don't hit them up unless I actually have the money and I'm ready. So let's go ahead and pull these wheels and tires out, and hopefully they will be gone. That'd be sick. But I've got them sitting over here in the shade because whoever had them originally let them sit in the sun, and that's why they're no good. For those of you guys that don't know, these tires have dry rot crack all over them, and one of them has a bubble in it. So essentially the person who's getting them is just getting them for the wheels, and the wheels really need to be redone. That's why I'm selling them so cheap. Now we got the tires over here. I just wanted to show you guys a quick little rundown of exactly what was going on with these wheels. So the wheels themselves are in decent shape. There's no chips or dents or any cracks or anything in the wheels. You can see that they've been either painted or powder coated previously in the past. So you can see where there used to be some wheel weights there. They took those off when I had these tires put on. So let me show you the main issue that's going on with these tires. So right here, you can see the spider cracking here. It's right there, and it's also on the inside here too. So you can see it's even starting to separate right down there around the knobbies too. You can see some serious cracks in there. So all these tires are like that. They're all really bad. I would not use these for anything other than like mudding. You know, if you had like an old farm truck or something, this would be okay. Also, this one here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got a really bad lump right there. It's all oblong right there. It's like a big kidney bean shape. So this whole section right here is completely raised, and you can see the deep gash right here, and right here, where, I mean, essentially this thing's ready to blow up, honestly. But I drove all the way back from Tampa on this tire. Don't ask me how, but it happened, and we're here to talk about it, so that's good. Anyways, they are missing 2 of the center caps, so you can see that wheel and this wheel are missing the center caps, but you can see that the wheels are not that bad. You know, they're in decent shape. They've got a deep lip. I measured the lip, and that's an 8-inch lip right there. So a really nice offset. And you can see this one right here, where I kind of started to mess with it, but it's just not worth trying to fix them. So 400 bucks, I feel like is a pretty good deal. This tire right here is actually brand new. Honestly, the 400 bucks is pretty much what this tire cost originally, so it's not bad. So if I had the energy for them, I would definitely go get the tires unmounted, and I would make a whole video about redoing these wheels. But certain projects are just not worth it. You know, I know that we could make a video out of it, and that would be really cool, but at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about it, then it's just not going to turn out very well. So anyways, like I said in the last video, this is a great project for the right person. And for 400 bucks, I think there's plenty of meat left on the bone for the next guy to be able to do exactly what I'm talking about. Take the tires off. You're gonna have to pay somebody to do that. You gotta take the tires off. You're gonna have to sand down and repaint or repowder coat the wheels, and then get new tread put on them. So hopefully this guy that's coming to get them tonight, hopefully he can turn them around and make something happen with them, because it is a nice little opportunity for a flip or something if somebody had, you know, the time and the energy to do it. Alrighty guys, so today is the day. We are going to be taking the wrap off the truck. I've already started on a few areas, whatnot. I've already showed you guys some clips, or I'll throw some clips in right now. So you guys can see here, I decided to, what I did was I shopped around and I got some quotes on rewrapping the truck. So we're gonna be getting this whole thing rewrapped. And the only thing is it's like 80 bucks an hour to get those guys to rip this wrap off. And with the wrap only being on since like September or October, it's really not that bad. Plus, if you look here, look at the paint on the back of the chip here. As I'm pulling the wrap off, it's just pulling off the top layer of paint. And so this is the layer that it's taken off. It looks horrible. And then under here, it looks way better. This is what it's pulling off of. They didn't even scuff it. They just they just sprayed right over it. They didn't even scuff it at all. It must have been a Mako job or something, but they didn't even scuff that paint. So what I'm doing now is I'm just pulling it, and look at it. Look at how it's just pulling all it off there. It's a good thing because it makes it easier to pull off, but it's gonna be a chore. It's gonna be a chore getting all that paint off. I'm gonna have to make sure I sand the whole truck really, really good. We're gonna have to sand the whole thing down to where the whole thing is chalky. That way they got a nice smooth surface, because you can see they didn't even take off the glue or anything. They just wrapped right over it. So to kind of catch you up to speed, but I'll show you guys what we have so far. Right now I've got it pulled in the garage and it's coming off pretty well. The truck's clearly been sprayed before, and whoever sprayed it just threw color on top of color. The same color, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me show you guys. Yeah, so it's raining. I had to pull it in, and I originally, the other day, I was getting some quotes from some rap guys in the area, and I found a guy that I'm going to go with. I really like him. He's really nice, really well educated, educated me on a whole lot. This is what I started doing, and you can see that the paint, whoever painted it, you can see that it's just coming off of there. So you can see that not all of the paint is coming off, but once we get a nice little start, hopefully we can get under. And underneath there, the paint looks somewhat decent. I mean, it's not glossy, but anyways, all that green that you see is the paint there. It's this color of paint, and this is the bottom color. So we're gonna go ahead and start the long, strenuous process of peeling this off of here. I've got a heat gun, so we'll go ahead and mess with that a little bit. I got to take the bed rail caps off, take the tail lights out, just because they did wrap up underneath there. I need to paint these things anyways. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see how good we can get it to come out. So playing around here with the heat gun, I realized that it was kind of making things a little bit harder. This wrap hasn't been on there for very long, so it was really just coming off in big sheets. Anytime I would mess with the heat gun, it would just kind of shrink the wrap and make it a little bit too hot to handle. So I just used the good old-fashioned method and just started pulling it off and kind of working around the edges and trying to make it into one big piece, as big as I could. And since I'm not too concerned about the paint coming off, obviously, because we need to strip it off anyways, I just went at it, and this seemed to be pretty good. It worked out pretty well for me so far, but my fingers are just super sore. All right, so there you have it. It wasn't that bad. It was only about 15-20 minutes. Didn't take too long. I'm gonna try the goof off and see if it'll get that glue residue off and stuff before I start sanding it, because I could imagine that trying to sand over that stuff is gonna be no bueno. So let's go ahead and see if we get the glue to come off of there, and then after that we will go over to Harbor Freight and grab a sander, because I want to do this one section of the bed and see how good I can get it to come out before I do the entire truck, just in case it ends up being too much. But right now it's coming out great. It's really not that bad. And honestly, guys, I think that I prefer the dark color over the white. I've always known that this color was underneath there, you know, from when I got the truck originally. But I tell you that the forest green, I'm a huge fan of the forest green. I didn't think I would be, but with the chrome wheels, the chrome accents and everything, I'm gonna have them wrap the taillights as well too. They said they can't do the mirrors just because they need to be painted, I think, before. So we'll see about that. I would like to color match the mirrors, but they are gonna color match the front bumper for us and the roll pan, so that's gonna be sick. But we're gonna go with the color that's pretty similar to this, I think, but I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments, what color do you think would look sick on this truck? So here I was messing with the goof off, and it really didn't work like I thought it was going to. It just kind of smeared it around. I would assume that adhesive is probably really good stuff, and it's been baking on there in the sun for a while. So I guess what we're going to do is just have to use paint stripper in those places and see if that'll get that off of there. I just don't want to try to sand through that residue, because I know that's just going to make it real difficult and probably gunk up the sanding pads. Okay, got the taillight pulled out, got the bed rail cover off. Found a nice little spot of rust right here. This seems to be like the only spot of rust on the truck so far. The frame and everything is so clean under here. But anyways, and then I also found this little section here. Can't quite figure out what exactly they were attempting to do there, but you can see down the side of the truck, it is all pretty straight. You know, there's a little tiny baby dents, but like those, I'm not even a bodywork guy, so I don't even think I'm gonna worry about those too much. but just getting this old paint off. So far so good. I really do dig the green way better than the white. It looks so much better. And let me know what you guys think about with the toolbox. Should I leave the toolbox off or should I put the toolbox back? You let me know about that. But let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest of this side done today. And because I've already got about an hour into this one, so let me see if I can get this off in another hour or two, and hopefully we'll be looking pretty good. Okay, so we finally made it onto this home final stretch here, and it really wasn't that bad. The bottom part obviously came off pretty easy, I think because that got a bunch of water and sand up underneath it. Also, you'll see that this passenger door turned out to be gold, which is pretty interesting. Alrighty, check me out, guys. You can see on the floor here, got a lot of big pieces, which is good. My fingertips are already sore as hell, though. I tried to do the heat gun thing, but I think the wrap's only been on here since about November or December, so it's very fresh. I don't really think that the heat gun would really do me any favors. I was trying to use it a little bit, and it was just really shrinking the wrap, and it was really hot to grab. I don't know. Maybe it would work better if this had been on for a lot longer, but this is coming off pretty easy so far. I think I've been doing this for about an hour and a half now and pretty much got this whole side done. Obviously, we need to go back and obviously sand everything, knock everything down, get all the glue, any residue that's on there. I used some of the Goo Gone down here, and you can see it kind of loosened it up, but it's still kind of sticky and tacky. So I might end up just getting the truck repainted. I was getting some quotes to get the whole truck wrapped, and by the time I got it wrapped with everything I wanted, everything, we're looking at about $3,500. So I'm gonna take that and give myself a $3,500 budget and see what some paint shops in the area will do. Like I said, there are some minor cherry bombs. There's some minor cherry bumps on the side of the bed. And probably all over the truck, honestly. The truck was definitely used. You can see behind me that this passenger side door was actually gold at one time. So this door has definitely been replaced in the past. I actually knew that a long time ago because I could see on the inside of the door when I took the panel off. Obviously, it was all gold under there. So anyways, not too bummed out about that, but I did see a little bit of rust right here. Seems to be the only area right here with the rust that I could see, and it all seems pretty solid. So just this one little section here. So that'll be fun to mess with. I haven't really had to weld anything or anything like that, but that might be the perfect opportunity to get myself a nice little welder. I've been looking on Marketplace and stuff. I have had my eyes out. I just don't know the right exact one to get. And I do know that I'm going to be focused mainly on probably MIG welding for now. And then as we get bigger and stuff, I guess we'll get into the TIG. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for right now. I'm just going to go ahead. I got some work I got to go do. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this video, get it knocked out for you guys. And then you guys can put down in the comments what you think I should use to get all this glue and everything off of the truck. I do plan on sanding the whole thing down. So would it be better to just strip all the paint off and start fresh that way? I don't know. You guys let me know. This is kind of my first time doing this kind of work. So anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for the input down in the comments, and make sure you hit the like and the subscribe, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow while we take off the rest of the wrap on the other side. See you guys.